Sports Podcast.
Have you got the predictions that you and Matt did?
Yeah, we've got them. Yeah, I've got them.
Any of them close?
He got the Pacers one correct, actually.
Oh, really?
Really good. He got Pacers correct. He got the Nuggets correct as well. 3 correct, and I got 3 correct.
No, that's not possible because you both went opposite way. Welcome to the All Sports Podcast with me, your host for this evening, Joel, and Femi's here too.
Yes, sir. Happy to be here, man.
How you doing, Femi?
Yeah, all good, man. It's really good to be here. Now, and there were 2.
Exactly, mate.
I mean,
Keeping this train on the tracks, keeping it running.
big facts. It's going to be a fun one, I think. I mean, for this episode, we've got the 2 best podcasters anyway, so.
Let's see if he keeps that one in the recording. Okay, NBA.
Final 4, and a quick recap of how we got there. The OKC Denver Nuggets series was really entertaining. It went up to 7 games. The 2 most exciting words in all the sports, the Americans would say, Game 7. And was it a really good series, like just watching both teams go at it. SGA, he showed up and he showed out. I thought experience would play a massive factor in the series. I thought the Nuggets would just about clinch that, given they just have the championship pedigree. They've won the NBA title already. They still have that core group of players. And OKC are a young team, really young, but really exciting as well. They're fearless. They have a very deep squad as well. And that goes a long way in the playoffs. Like, I think they make the argument a lot of the time that, it's the fittest teams that actually win the NBA championship, just given how close the games are. Which was mad. You can literally have 24 hours to prepare for a game. Like, between games, you have 1 day. It speaks volumes about how sports money talks. And, I guess you're trying to just wrap up the season as quickly as possible. But there was an exciting series. SGA, he performed. I think he's finally coming to, the big boys now. I know he's, there's a shout about him winning the MVP, him or Jokic, but I think at this point you might as well give it to SGA. Like, he's just had an unbelievable season. And in my view, the Thunder rightfully won. They won the game by almost 30 points, in Game 7. So, it should be exciting.
That was in normal time, no overtime.
Yeah, no overtime. Like, I mean, they destroyed them. I guess it wasn't even close. I think the first 2 quarters was back and forth, and then towards the end of the second quarter, they just wrapped it up. They went up by a quick 15, I believe, and then the third and fourth quarters, game over. So when you're taking out your starters, in the fourth quarter, but with 5 minutes played, like, it speaks volumes just how, how the game has gone. So I'm really excited for the OKC Timberwolves series. The Timberwolves really surprised me, but I mean, Warriors were playing without Steph Curry because obviously he had the injury, which was a big advantage for them. But I think regardless of whether, Steph played or not, I think the Timberwolves are just too good. Like, Anthony Edwards, he is the face of the league. Like, now it's not even a conversation anymore. He's the face of the league. He's the player people want to see. You pay the big bucks to watch because he's entertaining. He's charismatic. He's a good talker. He is also just a really good basketball player, and he plays the game the right way. And he supports his teammates. You can see the chemistry they have, amongst himself with Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle. Even credit to Nick Timberwolves, not to segue from this, but like, that trade has really worked out for both teams. Both teams in the Final 4. Randle, he's found a great fit with Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert, and you see Karl-Anthony Towns has really found a great fit in New York. Sometimes we forget he was actually born and raised in New York. So, happy for him, to be home and to be doing what he's doing. But yeah, like, excited for the Timberwolves Thunder series because both teams have just been really good and they've been firing as well. And it's crazy, like, OKC were 1st seed and the Timberwolves are 6th seed. So, which goes to show maybe the playoff format just works. Premier League, if you ever decide to adopt the playoff style of tournament football, just, shout your boy. Cavs, Pacers as well. Really good series. But I mean, I think the Cavs, like,
Is that a shock? Is that a bit of a shock that the Pacers took that 4-1?
That's a shock in my view. I think there was one game in which the Cavs were without some of their key players because were injured, but the fact that those key players chose not to play. I mean, I say chose not to play, but were ruled out. I think it just speaks to the mentality of their team, because with the playoffs, you do whatever you can to play, irrespective of whether you're injured or not. Aaron Gordon for Denver Nuggets, he had a grade 2 hamstring, and he still played the game 7.
Mm-hmm.
He's a warrior. But to have 3 key players, bow out and skip the game as a result of injury, everyone's injured. So to me, it just speaks about the mentality that they've got in that team. And from seeing that, I just kind of knew, the Pacers have got this one. And Haliburton, what a year he's had. He has been sensational. He was recently voted as the most overrated player in the league, and he has shown
most overrated.
Yes, the most overrated player in the league. So it was like a survey that went out, and the players voted on this, and they voted him as the most overrated. And back-to-back series, he has proved that there are levels to this. And I love his response after the series. He said, "Overrate that." It's facts. Overrate that. Do you know what I mean? This is a player who does his talking, on the big stages. He's a player who does his talking on the court. He's not there to just shout from the rooftops about how he's going to do this and do that. And I really love about him, he's really humble. He's a really humble player. He just goes out there, he has fun, he enjoys the game, he plays the game the right way. And a player like that, you got to give him his flowers. I'm happy for him, and I'm really, really excited to see what he does in the final. The Pacers Knicks is a massive rivalry game. People. Yeah, it really is. It's a big game, and I think both teams, have a lot to play for, and just the New York Knicks, it's going to be huge for them. It's going to be huge for them because they're one of the top two most valuable franchises in all of the NBA. It's a good thing when you see the NBA Knicks, in the final as well, because it speaks volumes to the league. So for a fact that those seats will cost an arm and a leg. Because it's going to be so expensive, but it's also great for the league. More viewers. It's like United or Real Madrid making it to the Champions League final. But those clubs, they represent so much, to football. Same way with the Knicks. The Knicks represent so much to basketball.
It's weird, isn't it? It's not through winning.
Yeah, true.
It's it's through something different. I'm not sure what it is about them, and it's a New York thing. I don't know.
It is. It's a culture thing as well. They're just certain franchises. They just have that aura about them. And it's New York. But then again, you do have the Brooklyn Nets who aren't as big. So it's just something about the New York.
Even with big names,
KD, Kyrie, James Harden, they're still wearing as big as the Knicks. There's just something about it's just an aura around the club. And I don't even like to admit this, but it's similar to Arsenal. Just something about the Arsenal. They just have this aura, this culture about them that people, relate to and people love. The days of the Henry, the days of, what's his name, Dennis Bergkamp. Just similar to the Knicks, you have what's his face? Can't remember. Yeah, we can't quite. What's his name? I can't remember right now. He's a big.
Are you thinking of Jabbar?
No, not even Jabbar. Who am I thinking of?
He plays for the Knicks.
Yeah, Walt Frazier. We're talking about big Patrick Ewing. That's the one. Yeah. Patrick Ewing is what? Knicks legend. We're talking Charles Oakley. We're talking these star players.
Yeah.
These are the big names. Larry Johnson, Carmelo Anthony. Players who carried the Knicks. Walt Frazier, they're just what Knicks means to the NBA is massive, and it's going to be an exciting series, and I hope they make it to the final because, like I said, it's also really exciting for the NBA. The Thunder Wolves series will also be hard to call. So, but if I was to make my prediction, I'll probably go for OKC. Their team's just too deep and they're just too good right now. They're probably the best team in the NBA right now in terms of the last 4 left. So I fully expect OKC to beat the Timberwolves in probably 6 games, and I wouldn't be surprised if they win the
It
final.
feels stacked to the West. It feels like whoever gets through that West one is going to be the favourite in the final.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I really wanted Denver to win it, because I thought if they won it, I think they would have still been tough. It would have still been tough to beat for the Timberwolves, but if the Nuggets won it, I think they would have had a chance of winning it. But now, I think OKC. I think it's a cakewalk. Not a cakewalk, but I expect them to win the NBA title. Yeah, I think it's a surprise looking at Celtics. I fully expect Celtics to win the title. I think my expectations of them going in was they were going to win the whole thing because their team was just that deep. But the Pacers more of a surprise because one, them beating the Bucks, I didn't expect, if I'm being honest, and then beating the Cavs as well, who were on the tier all throughout the season, was even a bigger surprise. It just goes to show the NBA is just so exciting, man. Like, I think it's the first time in a long time where we haven't had like this dynamite of a team as we used to with the OKC. I mean, with the Golden State Warriors, with the days of Steph, Clay, and KD, where we're not having one team looking like the massive favorites. I mean, we probably did have that with the Celtics, but they just didn't perform. And of course, like Tatum out, so. But even with Tatum playing, like the Knicks still dominated that series. So, my view, it'll be an exciting final. I fully expect the Knicks to face the OKC in the final, so it should be good.
Okay, cool. So when we next speak,
Yeah, so
they're not going.
It's the 21st of May to the 3rd of June. Wow, dang. That should be really, really exciting.
Okay, mate, we'll call it there.
It's a good one. A really good one.
Yeah, great stuff. So there is an outro that Matt does every week.
Yeah.
And I think he says something like, thanks for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to get in touch, send us an email at that email address that Matt always says, which I think is the allsportspodcast@gmail.com. But that is a complete guess.
Amazing stuff.
The meeting's still rolling, but yeah, Femi left, so that's funny.